Yes, welcome to Footy and Friends. It is the round 18 review with my good friend Brettles. How are you, Brett?
Yeah, good, mate.
Good to see you, mate. How was the champs?
They were busy, yeah.
Champs for the champ.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's
champs.
right, mate. Yeah, up there watching the under-16s, the best crop for the 2027 draft.
Oh, yeah.
2026, maybe.
Wow.
Fuck,
That sounds a long way away.
16s.
Butsy, how are you, mate? How was the weekend?
Yeah, good. Bit of ball by ball. Bit of 3-year-old. Bit of a 10-day-old. Learning new things.
What's different the second time
experiences.
around?
Less time for you.
Yeah.
Like I barely wash. I don't do anything.
Speaking of barely washing, we'll go on to that.
You know what I mean? How many have you got?
I got 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I don't know how I'm still here. To be honest.
We're alive. We're good.
So, did you obviously miss last week, and we desperately missed Brett. You've just splashed a bit of coffee on your nose.
Do I?
I don't know how that's even possible.
Haven't had much sleep, brother.
Do you want to wipe it?
Is it?
There you go.
On my
There you
beak.
go. It's
Right
your
on the beak. On the top bit.
On the top of your
That's
beak. I'm not sure
unbelievable.
how that even happened.
Don't think I've ever done that.
You got a bit of feedback
I did.
for us. So, did you listen into the episode?
Yeah,
You
I
said
had
he wouldn't.
No, I did. I had a little listen. Only because I wanted to see how many times you mentioned me and how much you missed me. I told you, everyone, that if the podcast's on and I'm going to be on there, I'll listen it back. I'm not being spoken about.
Professional.
He's a professional.
Watching his
ultimate
edits.
professional.
Fair bit of me
With an
being me
assistant
about
coach.
it, to be honest. But I got some feedback from a mate of mine.
Yeah.
Mate,
Name?
Luke Suter's his name. Yeah, Geelong boy, one of my brother's good mates.
Yep.
Um,
Shout out to him.
Mate, you need to get back on your podcast ASAP. Butler is no good.
Righto, Brett. He's bringing the real sort of hard stuff. Jesus, Brett.
Not Brett, Luke.
From his mates. He's
Yeah,
bringing
yeah.
hard stuff from his
his
mates,
mate.
Darcy. I've never heard that before.
You can't be bringing your mates.
Dylan, captain's
Nah,
call. That's a bit off.
It was a very... it was...
Mate,
That says to
feedback.
me you're not very-
you know where this has come from? Your fake fucking emails, mate. You're throwing me under the bus every week.
Oh, Qantas Club. No, that was real.
You can't be sending all that
I'm on
rubbish
a watch list on the Qantas Club because of you. Yeah. You know what that shows? I don't think he's confident in his game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If he's having to bring negative feedback about the fill-in host from a mate, ooh,
It's
I don't
almost
know
like
about
the
that,
VFL
Brett.
players come in to replace him in the AFL after he's been managed, on a big game.
And he's potting him.
Yeah, he's potting him.
Yeah, in the stands, potting him, eating
Yeah.
his chips, going, he's shit, this bloke.
I might start sending
Not
some
good
edits
karma.
into some other podcasts, will I, and see where they send
There we
them.
go. Hey, before we get in...
Butts, I got one just to get your confidence back up.
Oh,
a
thank
bit.
you, Darcy.
This guy on YouTube, Rat Attack 420. He said
Rat Attack.
Nick Butler is better than the other two that are usually on.
Oh, see,
there
that
you go.
balances it out a bit, Darcy,
fuck off,
doesn't
Rat
it?
It was 50-50. Yeah, it was 50-50.
Very angry man,
Hey,
Brett.
before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Carlton Draft. We love Carlton Draft. Jesus. I say the name, and I get a bit of anxiousness coming through because my game's on Saturday.
That's fantastic.
I
You
can't
must
wait.
feel alive.
I don't. I feel terrible.
Nah, but feeling terrible is
How does
feeling
the body
alive.
feel? Have you hardened it up a little bit?
I was doing a few hip and shoulders in the office yesterday with Will and the boys.
That's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. And I was getting like a sore neck after it.
Jesus.
So it'll be big. Elephant in the room. We're meant to have Isaac Smith come in this morning.
Yeah.
Former Cat, former Hawk, doing the Carlton Draft. He played up at Bunyip on the weekend.
Yeah, Shane Mumford.
Shane Mumford.
Has hurt his MCL.
Right.
He reckons he had 2 blokes tagging him. He has done his MCL and he's having a scan this morning.
Right.
Because he can't walk. So
What were his numbers in
What
the
is
end?
it?
we don't know what do you know what his numbers were, Darcy?
I think he got injured in the second quarter.
He got injured, yeah.
No.
He kicked
Did
the
you give half
first.
the
Kicked the
invoice
snag.
back?
Yeah, he kicked the first. But yeah, we'll get him on to recap the game.
What's
Obviously,
he having
with
a
Shane
scan
Mumford.
when he's retired for
Well,
life?
he-
Like,
no,
he's
it'll
having a
just heal.
scan.
No,
It'll just heal.
That'll
I
heal,
don't- no,
mate.
he may
You
have
got
done
a while
his,
to get over it.
He may have done his ACL.
Oh, A. I thought you said M.
No, A and M.
Oh, crumbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might actually just give him a quick buzz now and see
Right.
if he takes our call and just see if he's had the scan yet.
Should we doorstop him? This is like a doorstop. It's high pressure doorstopping and stuff.
I think he might be in the MRI.
it might be.
He might be his buzz back later.
Right.
So yeah, may have done the ACL, which is not great. I'm actually getting like a bit of like butterflies even talking about it.
You're alive.
So no running or kicking.
I did the
other than-
10K up at Gold Coast.
It's all right. It's got a base.
Yeah. What about your skills and all that sort of stuff?
Oh, mate, you don't lose that.
Well, yeah, you're not going to touch it that many times, so you want to make sure that when you do, you're actually clean and you're good with it.
I'll have 35
quality
on
over
the day,
quantity.
and that should be enough.
Pardon?
35 on the day, that should be enough.
Let's see. I cannot wait to see when I come there after the
feel
game.
fucking sick talking about it. Let's move
You
on.
know, I think you'll go all right. I'm going to back you in here.
No.
I like cutting you down to size.
Have you done any research on what the league's actually like and what the club's like?
I'm a country footy.
No, not the club itself and the people. And we know that's going to be great, but how they're going, how they're performing.
Not well. We've got a.
Have you got a top of the ladder team, or have you got?
We've got the top of the ladder team. Yeah.
So you're not touching it?
No, it's going to be hard. It's against Yemen. Yeah, man.
You're right. I'm a country footy nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like he's playing Ovens and Murray, Goulburn Valley, so it's a level or two below. It's going to be pretty competitive.
It's going to be contested.
It'll be rough and tough.
Yeah.
I think athletically you'll be more gifted than a lot of the players. You've got toe. I'm not pissing in your pocket.
No.
You're quick, and he's quite brave. Okay, and this is the thing in his favour, Brett. I think you retired with a few miles on the clock, right? It's not like he was.
Giants didn't think so.
Well,
17 on the
how
clubs.
old were you when you retired? You're only 27, weren't you?
It's 27.
Disgusting. 50 years ago, you'd be coward of the county. For
I didn't
retiring
retire
at
either.
27.
I didn't retire.
Preface the retire.
Yeah, it wasn't retire.
Well, I'm saying, but you not like Brett. If you got the flick at 27, you would have gone back to Kai. When you're from Kai, you don't retire until you can no longer walk.
Yeah.
So
I
there's
wanted to
miles
show
on the
that
clock.
I could do something else with my life.
You've done that very well. Now go and get a kick, please.
We'll go back and have a look. But I'm excited. Are you going to come up? Because Brett and Mick are coming up.
I think I might.
Yeah, come up.
Yeah.
Be good.
You got 2 kids now, I remember.
2 kids, call a bit of ball by ball, but I might try to get on a Sunday game so we can call.
Yeah, it's up at Tura if anyone wants to come up.
Beautiful.
2.5
They
hours
call it the Nest.
Can I just? I had a thought bubble. I
it's your
referenced
show.
you in the AFL Nation call yesterday.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Because it was the Giants and
No.
Richmond game, or?
I was doing the Gold Coast Port Adelaide, but you do beam into my mind a little bit, maybe because you're quite mean to me. But no,
Rent-free.
The Hornet. Jason Horne-Francis was having a mare, right? And
Jesus.
No. This just wasn't a negative. Actually, he was having a real mare. Like I'd have a sit down with Kenny Hinkley.
Yeah,
I think
I
he
saw
was
that.
in minus Supercoach points for a while because he'd had no touches and given away 3 frees.
Wow.
And I said to the big ox, David Schwartz, I said, look, he's got to go forward. Like, this just isn't working for him. Like, the harder he tries, he's just giving away more frees. I said, put him out of the square. He's one of those guys with power and judgment, and he reminds me a little bit of a young Delidio, who always looked good out of the square.
I love the square.
Yeah, you did.
I love taking blokes to the square and winning watches.
No, it's not a bad call. I did watch that game as well. We'll get into the recap shortly. Did you guys see the big shout out to the boys as well? We had the Clubby stream on Friday night.
It looked good.
It looked really good. It was actually sick. Did you tune in?
I didn't tune in.
Okay.
But I watched a few highlights back.
Mate, it was so good. So for those out there who don't...
I got tagged in one.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Have you improved it?
Oh, it was...
Because we were
mate,
in
it was,
early. I was on the first
but
one, and it was
you-
no good.
In fairness, you're a ball by ball. I don't think
I'm
you
ball by
get
ball.
it. You don't get it.
Do I talk too much?
No, it's... You were like half trying to commentate on the couch. That's not what it is. It's just sitting there. So for those that don't know, Clubby TV on YouTube, myself, Sam, Moff, and Scotty, as well as a few of the other boys that were sitting behind, were sort of mic'd up, sitting on the couch, just watching the footy. We can talk about the footy. We can talk about anything that goes through our minds. And it's just that companionship of like, you can be sitting at home watching the footy and having a chat with your mates.
Yeah.
Not listening to a ball-by-ball commentary.
No, I like the idea.
Yeah.
I'm just not good at it. I get too revved up.
You love the ball-by-ball.
I love the ball-by-ball.
Which is good.
Yeah. So it went well. Are you going to do more of it?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah. Well, this week we can't because
You're playing.
we're playing, but then we'll get back into it the week post, and yeah, it's been really cool. So check it out. It's on YouTube.
And you put up a 200 plus one. Do we want a 200 plus?
Well, a few people were
stream?
asking for a 200 plus stream.
How did it go? Do you know? Do you have the results?
They want it. 90% said yes.
Yeah, maybe
And I said no, so there we go.
So we're not allowed to
Check that
talk
one out.
about what you did during that or not?
You can.
Darcy tagged me in something that... and I've been thrown under the bus for this numerous times, to the point where people call me dickhands when we train and whatever else. Because you didn't wash your hands after you went and took a piss, mate.
What's happened?
What happened?
Well, what happened was we are mic'd up.
Yeah.
So obviously in there, and I go to Das, mate, I'm going to go take a piss. Like, are we off? He goes, yeah, we're off. So I walk out the back to go and urinate.
Yep.
As I'm doing that, this dickhead goes and just forgets and turns the mics back on as everyone's sitting back on the couch. You can hear me pissing on the stream. Like, they're sitting down, like, talking about the footy.
Oh,
and
I saw it. It was great.
And I'm pissing.
There was an ad rolling, I
You
think.
can hear... Yeah, there's an ad rolling. I'm pissing. Through the piss, you couldn't hear
Big
me
horse
wash my
piss.
hands. I was obviously there washing my hands. You just couldn't hear the tap as much.
Right, the tap
Yeah.
wasn't on.
Well,
You just sanitised.
I
did
will
you?
say it was a very...
You sanitised.
I do like a bit of sanitize. I like to hand wash and sanitize.
Yeah.
You need to get some in there.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do. No, we do. It's not used, man.
So you're the new dickhead.
Dickhead.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say you are the dick hands still, Lydia, that's for sure. Let's get into the footy because what a round it was. We streamed this game, Collingwood versus Geelong, on Friday night.
Yep.
Pretty good game.
Mm.
It's always a good game between these two.
Cats are back.
Nick Dacos is fucking good though, isn't he?
Jeremy Cameron's good.
Jeremy Cameron's
Sandra.
very
good.
Sandra
Superstar.
Sully
What
with
did
the
we-
late news.
Yeah. What did we think of Jezza's comments after the game?
I didn't hear. What did he say?
Quainer?
Bit of a drive-by. He was
Yeah.
happy with the matchup.
No, you know what got stuffed though
I
was...
saw him do this one, the old hand down to say he's too small, can't guard me.
Did he
Love it.
say that on the game?
Well, no, during the game he put his hand down after he kicked the goal.
So good. The I love Quainer. I think he's a fucking absolute
He's a
star.
guy. He did pretty well on Jez.
He went really well.
Like, it's not like he got
I think
7
we
kicked
kicked
on him.
most of them on Frampton, to be honest. I'm not.
And he got him off the... He was forced to get him off the ground.
Yeah, but just on that, they stitched him up a little bit. They took him out of context and cut up that clip a little bit.
Oh, the media loved
The
doing
media
that.
did that, like because he did say he really loves Quainer and but they just cut that bit out.
I was
and put
happy with
he
the
was really
matchup.
happy with the matchup, which is great. Our man Corn.
Love corn.
He's going hard
Morning, Corn.
with Collingwood at the moment, and that matchup especially. What do you make of it? Should have Darcy more gone to Cameron? Do you think, or do you stick fat and you just keep going? Nah, you're intercepting.
Well, he never really plays on the kingpin, does he? He hasn't done it for years. So, I mean, we don't know what their roles are, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Darcy Moore isn't there to be a caravan these days. That's what Frambot should have played on him the whole night. I reckon big Frambot.
Yeah.
He's a good athlete. He's pretty tough.
He's just getting caught in between at the moment. Darcy's neither Arthur nor Martha, is he? Like he's not quite intercepting, not quite spoiling.
He's where the ball ain't.
Yeah.
Well, man, used to give me that one every now and again. Everywhere the bloody ball isn't.
That's with him
I
though.
put him forward, Brett.
No, see, I think you've got to stick fat. You can't panic.
What, stick fat playing on no one and not getting the prune? Stick fat at that. Hey boys, I'm going to dig in. I'm going to keep playing on no one and not marking it. Follow me.
He will get there. He'll turn his game around. When he's at his peak, he is one of the best at doing it.
Yeah.
But I think what does more damage, Butsy, and I think you'd agree with this being a key tool, is if you then not give up in a sense and try and play somewhere else. Is there that point of like, if it's not hurting the team too much, which we know it actually is,
Yeah.
do you stick fat and go, you know what, fuck it, give it a few more weeks? Because I think that if they didn't make the call already, it's going to hurt him even more going, hey, we're going to put you forward. Then everyone jumps on. Then the pressure builds there if he doesn't kick him as well.
Yeah, I
You know
get
what
it.
I mean?
I loved what Sicily did. I know this is another game,
Yeah.
but he was like, he couldn't go down back and his shoulder was cooked and he's like, I'll go forward. We'll
It's
see how
different
any kick
though.
three.
It's
If
different in
more
the sense
kick
that it
three,
wasn't-
they might win.
Yeah.
But what if he fails there too? They're
Oh,
going to
well,
drop him.
Mate, what if you fail? Life's about failing. No, they won't drop him because no one can get a kick up forward.
Yeah, it's
At least you
fucking
can say, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm playing on someone. Put it out in front. Put
Yep.
it where I'm going, not where I've been.
Fair call.
They don't have anyone
All
that can take a clunk.
Australian backman.
I know that.
Not an All-Australian forward.
Who's an All-Australian forward? There's like no one. You know what I mean? Like outside of Curnow,
They name 6 of them every year.
no, I know that. But I'm saying they all go back.
Yeah,
They
I know what
all
you
go
mean.
back.
I
All
haven't
the
seen
All-Australian
Hawk.
defenders are failed forwards.
Yeah.
Ollie Dempsey, 100% game time, which I could never. Speaking of
He's a jet.
match fitness, that is unbelievable. There was a really cool thing here too. Sench Footy on Instagram posted, which I love this sort of stuff, and it was Lawson Humphreys who showed a lot
Yep.
in that game. It was his third game.
Yeah, he's a gun.
He's a gun, but it was
Wellesley.
really. Did you see? Well, it's not Wellesley. It's actually
Mac.
Andrew Mackie now. So
Wellesley's still there though.
Yeah.
he's still there.
No, I think Wellesley still finds the diamonds in the rough. I don't
Wellesley's-
think that's
Wellesley's
Mac's
still got his-
brief.
Boys, we've got a call from Isaac Smith coming in now. We'll take this.
Doorstop.
Isaac, how are you, my friend?
What's going on, big dog?
We got Brettles and Nicky Butler on the podcast, mate. You're live. We just wanted to check in and see if our old mate's okay.
Don't know, just walked out of the MRI machine, so we're waiting on results.
Oh, goodness gracious. How'd you pull up? How was the game in short words? We'll get you on for a full episode, but how are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good, mate, other than a little bit sore. Been hop along for a couple of days, and that's funny. When you were a professional footballer, it was all good. You could put the leg up and rest, but now I'm not. I'm getting absolutely zero sympathy at home. Put to work.
Hey, Izzy, it's Lids. Mate, have you got any advice for Dyl before his big game?
Take a couple of security guards, I reckon.
Were you getting targeted up there, Lit?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. It was handy having Shane Mumford playing with us. He sort of looked after me and made sure no one cleaned me up too bad. But, it was a lot of fun, mate. Get around the club, make sure you enjoy a few beers after it and have a great day because I know we raised a hell of a lot of money for Bunyip. It was a great initiative.
How much prep work did you do prior to it?
No, absolutely none.
Oh, dear. Okay.
He is fresh off of Norm Smith, though. Yeah. Sort of 20, there's a bit of a difference between I finished up at Aspley about 4 years ago. So.
You've got a running club, so you should be in good nick.
Isaac, in the heyday when a big gun hurts the knee, you'd have media waiting out there at scans to stick a mic in your face. Did you get that treatment as a retired player? Any door stopping?
Because I'm down in Geelong, it's quite good. They look after you down here. So got rushed into a private waiting room and straight into the MRI machine first thing Monday morning. So I don't think I'd get that treatment in Melbourne.
No, Mitch Cleary sort of work. He'd chase you too.
You'd be in the rubbish bin. Hey, mate, best of luck with it. We'll touch base next couple of weeks. We know you're going to get you back in the pod and have a chat then. But we're sending our love and. You haven't sort of actually helped me heading into this week. I've actually feel even worse about it. So thank you very much.
Nah, you'll be fine, mate. It's great fun. You'll have a heap of fun.
Let's go. See you, mate.
There you go. The man in the arena.
Yes, it's good. So back to that call, actually. Andrew Mackie. So Kane Corns made a joke. Corn, we call him here. Are Geelong becoming the new Essendon in being really difficult to deal with at trade period? So if you remember, Asava Radaglia went to Port. Yeah. They were being really hard with it. They end up getting like 2 picks and then 1 pick in like the pick 70s or something.
They fought hard for that pick.
Really hard for that pick 76, which turned out to be Lawson Humphreys. It's just like you never know what happens with these trades, and it's just cool to see what.
There is a bit of trade week mail getting around because you do hear the buzz when Brett and the boys are here and the media, and it's all bloody on in the trade period that Mac can piss a few off. Yeah. But he's always been like that. He was a real hard sledger on the field. There was a story about Andrew Rains when he was just into him, and poor old Rains, he's probably in a last year of his deal on a 1-year deal, and he's going, mate, have you signed up for TAFE yet? You're not going to be next year, mate. What TAFE course are you going to do? And just to, it's just mean.
That's
and he
really
had that
mean.
about him. Even, he even sledged me, right? So, 2007, the boys were in the grand final. Yeah. I've played 6 games in the twos. And the twos also won the grand final. Was emergency for that. Yeah. But I was very popular, right? So after the best and fairest, and I'm on the piss with Hawk and Tommy Harley, and I'm really there, and I thought, I'm clearing the decks here. I'm having a bender with the boys, right? So as a sup lister, I was very popular, Dyl. Okay, so I'm there.
You said that.
And so it was sort of like the Premiership legends and me left at about 4 a.m. at Crown.
So you, Stevie, Jimmy,
Jono, all the boys, Tommy Harley. So I was mates with Hawk, young Hawk. I don't think Hawk had played in 07, but he was still out there and knocking with the boys, Stokesy. Yeah. And I'm going, well, I go, gee, these boys are good to me. I'm 52 on the sup list, but they just love having me around. And then we're playing some poker at 4 a.m. when we've just sort of worked out what to do for the kick-ons. And I'm feeling really good about myself. And then Mac rolls in, who was normally pretty good to me, and goes, Jesus, we've got the Scooby-Doos here too, have we? 4 a.m, I've had 30 beers and I think a couple of darts. And I've got a drive-by the bloody wingman saying that the Scooby-Doo's invited. And I said, yes.
Yes, he is, mate.
I got a ticket to the BNF, mate. I'm still here.
I'll get me money's worth.
I love Mac. He's good. But
good.
he was very encouraging at the start of my media career, Mac.
Yeah. He probably felt bad for that night. Yeah, he probably felt bad.
So good on you, Mac.
Oh, that's great. Hawthorn versus... Oh, sorry, just quickly, Geelong. We'd like to round it out here. Feedback from last week. How are they looking? How are these teams both looking heading into the end of the year?
I think they're going well. I wasn't sure where they were at when they lost all those games only a few weeks ago, but they've bounced back in the last few, and they're top 4 chance, absolutely.
Dangerfield's so important to them.
So important.
They look different with him there. And Cameron Forward.
Yeah, 1 out. Better without the Hawk, you reckon? Got asked this yesterday on radio.
I think just the way Hawk was going, he was in a flat patch. It's not to say Hawk can't get back there again. Yep. And there is no way you're going to get me potting the Hawk ever. But I just think he needed a bit of space. And for whatever reason.
You're not being
it's
disrespectful to his
it's
career,
working
though. You
better.
just, mate, no one can play at the high level that he has been the last couple of years forever.
No.
And it happens. It catches up.
And Jeremy's probably at his physical peak. Or with that period where physical meets emotional and he's like, I know my game. I know the game. Let me dominate.
Yeah.
And I don't like that sort of up the field Jezza. I don't want to see him on the wing.
Yeah.
I don't want him going up there to get a kick like James Hird used to.
Yeah.
But I want 70% inside the 50.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thank
It's crazy
you.
how much he can hurt you when he's deep too. Like,
Freak.
he might get the 27 and kick 1 when he's on the wing, but he had 9 disposals, kicked 3 goals 3. So like, if he's deep, 9 disposals, has 6 shots on goal. Like,
Yeah.
That
pretty-
hurts you.
oh, it
You've got to
hurts.
think like the opposition coach. I reckon they want to see Jezza on the wing.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah, well, his ability to get back and help out their defence at times is really good and underrated, but well, I mean, depends how the game's going.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Hawthorn defeated Fremantle at Tassie. This one was a big game. Bad
Wizard.
drop for Freo.
I thought Freo would get the job done down there, but
Hawks just love it down there.
but the Hawks are just playing great footy.
Do you know what
They're
I'm
just so
actually
exciting to watch.
Looking forward to is in the few years when Tassie does come in, that staple game of like Hawks v Tasmania will be a big game down there, I reckon. Like, I don't know what they do. Maybe they put on Easter Monday or something. I don't know what it is, but it'll be a big
Sorry,
sort
Geelong.
of flagship game.
Geelong, you're no longer in it. You've
Not
got-
Easter. So it might even take over the Good Friday. Who knows? Whatever that game is.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
one that's not really there yet. I think it could be a big game, flagship game for them.
It'd be unbelievable down there. Have you
I
been to
hate the
Hobart?
plotting of Tassie.
Hobart
Hobart's
recently,
fucking awesome.
mate. On a Friday night, the lights will be on down in Hobart. All the bars,
Mate, it's
I'll be down there.
unbelievable.
Needs to be
I love
early and
Tassie.
late in the year, though. It's cold.
We'll
in
do
the
a bit of
middle
ball by
winter.
ball.
It's
Go to the
cold in
Qantas
Melbourne,
Club.
though. It's cold in Melbourne. It's cold everywhere.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's cold everywhere.
Pre-Warn Qantas Club to stock
Yeah.
up with their food.
Extra lollies and pasta. Thank you.
2 Barts, we spoke about Sicily, but going forward and then in the long sleever, which we love. Do you
Yeah.
reckon he had the long sleever to protect the shoulder? Do you maybe
He wears it a bit.
He wears it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
That's
cold
true.
down there. It's Tassie. You know?
He's a good leader. Big sis. That takes,
He's matured a lot, hasn't he?
takes plums, doesn't it, to go down and do that?
He steps
his
up.
shoulder must have been cooked. I don't know how he looked so bad in defence, yet he was able to take contested marks with it.
Maybe he just wanted to go forward.
Maybe.
He just wanted to go forward. You reckon just saw a match up.
And
Lloyd-
what about the Wizard?
Oh, we've got that.
Oh,
But
okay,
I
sorry.
just want to say Lloyd Meek as well. I don't really talk about Ruckman at all, but I have heard a lot about him. I wanted to get your insight on him. Do you reckon he's been
Most
big?
improved big man in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive.
Just
He's a beast.
Yeah, he is. And he's
He's
playing like a beast. The pot on him was probably built like a beast, playing like a regular man.
Yep.
He now knows he's strong. He's cut out the kung fu kicks. He was doing weird stuff last year. Like, remember that? He was sort of kneeing blokes without looking at the ball. Now he's just playing good old-fashioned
New rules
high
help him,
presence
though.
footy.
The new rules help. The ability to go and engage versus where you had to stay apart. And
Yeah.
that helps the stronger blokes, the Nan Curvis, the Kieran Briggs.
Your mate, like Ivan Maric, my mate too, love him. I reckon he would struggle now with this. At 198, he would still be a beast around the ground, and he had that mad Croatian streak.
Briggsy's like that.
Yeah, this is what helps these guys because
He's strong.
And that's why Ned Reeves, who was so good centre bounce work and everything else,
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to cross the line to engage. Now you can. So
Oh, but I just reckon that those guys that are about 115 kegs have a huge advantage now because they can wrestle. Whereas I reckon getting on to Ivan Maric, he's the last of the regular size ruckman.
Yeah.
He'd be too small now.
Yeah.
Could you sign a 198 centimetre ruckman now? I don't
No,
think
they got to
you
be
could.
forwards.
Yeah. Beastie
forwards or
was.
backs. Yeah. But that's how big the key forward's getting too. Like
They're
you can't
intercept
be
defenders now.
193, 94. It's like, well, you're there, mate. You're thereabouts. Maybe try mid. Can you go there? Can you go wing?
Yeah, caddy. You're a mid forward. Meek will be top 5 in their BNF. Could he?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, out of nowhere, from being a fringe player to that. So he's away now. He's away.
Your boy, the Wizard.
I just love the kid.
How good is he? I love his energy.
And I love that Hawthorn supporters, he polarises them.
Yeah.
Like they're a bit scared they've dudded the pick.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
Oh,
he's
no.
so... No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying because he was so high
Yeah.
and he's so little, they're like, what if we get the Wizard wrong? But
Mm.
then he just... They can't look away. He's like looking at the sun. Sometimes they can't watch him, but they can't look away. And I think now they're all starting to relax, going, the Wizard is a match winner.
They got some character. Like I caught up with Mitch Lewis on the weekend for a coffee. Obviously done his knee, which is terrible. We're just catching up, and he was just talking about their footy club. And I don't normally buy into this stuff when people say, "Oh, they're a tight group," but when it's coming from a player, He goes, mate, like I've never seen a bunch of blokes that are literally tighter than He goes, I'm old. I'm an older guy now in this. He's only about 27, I think. 26, 27. But that younger group that they've got coming through are just so tight. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And we speak of war chess. I feel like they've got some money. I want them to go after someone next year and land someone else. I don't know what the player is, who it is, but they just... it could be Bailey Smith. Who knows?
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't think it's Bailey Smith. I think Josh Battle's one that they're heavily into. And you'd think with Mitchy Lewis out that they'd be looking for a forward too. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Jared Ruffhead's in their pro scout area now, so he's scouring the country to see who's available and what they can do.
He was at St Kilda as well, so there you go with Battle. Maybe if he rates him, it could be on.
Could be.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't
Just
know.
on Hawks, right? So you've got inside mail that they're really close. I went and watched them in the pre-season in the intra-club game, and I'd never seen internal abuse like worse.
They're
Like,
getting at each other.
just getting into it, but it was just competitive. I remember even chatting to someone at the club. They were like, sorry about the language today. They were like, someone would drop a mark. You're fucking soft. Like, into each other. Someone would burn a kick, and I'm like, Jesus, this is pretty full on. Like, you don't normally see this like on a Tuesday, a month before the season. But it was just high standards. And when the game was over, they were all good. But I was a bit worried. Going, are they a bit toxic? No, they're just really competitive kids.
But you can only get that by being tight, and you know that your teammates got your back, and you say, yeah, mate, well, challenge me to that. That's fine, but you're tight off the field as well. If you're not great mates and you're calling someone shit and telling them
No good.
That is where it becomes toxic.
Yeah, loved it.
How far can Hawks go this year, do you reckon?
If they make the finals, they'll challenge. Yeah, I don't know whether they're ready to win a flag. They weren't ready in 08 either, I don't think, when they did win it. But you'd be nervous playing them because you don't they get everyone back and playing and firing. They probably are that key forward short, if you ask me.
Freo 2?
Are Freo in that spot as well? I haven't really been a buy-in person on Freo for the whole year, but they just consistently keep winning, don't they? So
Mick speaks about every week about their midfield, how strong it is, but I feel like it's a building block for them, like maybe in the next 2 years. I don't feel like they're...
Everyone's got a strong midfield, don't they?
Well, he reckons their midfield's like as better than anyone's.
Well, Young, Brayshaw, Sarong, three
Cool.
very
Young.
good young players. It'll be... Yeah.
I think the Hawks will just miss, but they'll frighten everyone on the way back.
Yeah.
If they could get into... I like the wild card. I love the play-in.
Yeah.
I like this year, if
in a
ever we
final.
needed it, I'd love like a little, whatever they say, 9th to 12th play for like an extra wild card, or they play for 8th.
I'm not against that, but I
Like,
just think
just
it adds
make 8th the raffle.
Yeah.
If you're 8th, you don't really deserve to be a lock because they'd probably win that and get him. But I just reckon they're going to be percentage or a game short. But bring in the wild
this year
card
it is, but
weekend.
I don't know if every year it's going to be like that. Who knows?
But the Hawks are coming. The Dogs they're just outside. They're coming. The Suns will continue to win at home. The Pies, they're on the skids at the moment.
The Bombers have a shit house percentage.
Yeah,
too.
the Bombers are
the Bombers rattle me. I
watch.
don't know where they're going.
The Bombers and the D's, I'm just not sold on either of those. I think the Giants are starting to play well. The Lions are they're in 4th. But I can't believe the Lions are in 4th.
It's fucking unbelievable. Good on them. I'm wrapped for them.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's funny now that, we'll talk about Essendon a little bit later, but after their loss to the D's, you look at that win against the Pies now, and I was like, that's huge. But was it as big as we looked at, we thought it was with like how the Pies are going? Who knows?
Very week to week.
Yeah,
I've never
it
known
is.
footy to be so week to week.
Mate, it's crazy.
Bulldogs.
Even the Bulldogs are fun.
They were putrid against Port Adelaide. I had to watch that. I watched that whole game because I was calling
And
Port
then they
Adelaide
beat
this
Carlton.
week, and I'm like, "What? They're just gone
Yeah.
off their tucker." And then, for whatever reason, the coach can just change their energy because they played with no energy against Port and then got it up again. So I guess because they're also finely tuned athletes now, and probably the difference between lists has never been closer. Whereas back in like your old man's day, there was like really, really strong teams.
the
battlers.
haves and the have-nots.
Yeah. Whereas now everyone's kind of got the same coin. It's down to sort of tactics and motivation levels.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see what happens with this last few weeks anyway. 4 weeks to 4 rounds left to go. So it's a lot of things going to happen in the last 4 weeks, which should be crazy.
It's only 4.
It's round 20 next
Is that
week.
right?
Yeah.
Shit. Sorry.
Round 20 next week. bro?
Round 19 next week.
Sorry, round 9 next week.
So 5 to go.
5 weeks to go.
games to go.
Sydney North, won't harp on this for too long, but the Swans looks very, very good. One thing I just loved seeing back, and if there's, we talk about this a lot, but there's blokes in your team you just first picked every week, and to see Luke Parker come back as a sub, I think he had like 14, kicked 2, 6 tackles. maybe something like that.
Nice audition to go to
I
North
think-
next year on a 2-year deal.
You reckon?
He'd be the one I'd take. They don't
over
need
Wines, over
Yep.
different
I watched
plays.
Wines yesterday.
Yeah.
They've got gun mids. Like, I don't think
Yeah, well, that's
Wines
what-
is pushing out an LDU or Wardlaw.
And you're not getting him to play half forward,
Sheasel.
are you?
No, whereas Parker just gives you that grit and grunt and a little bit of I'm 29, 30 and I've got a few nicks around the eye.
So he
he's
had
the one I'd
I think
get.
2
he'll stay
goals,
sub.
13 disposals, 6 tackles,
Yeah.
It's a beast.
like 72 fantasy points in him.
I reckon he's, and I think Sammy brought this up yesterday in our little text group, that he could be sub. If they want a flag, he'd be the first person to be sub twice.
Oh, how could you put him as? I don't think you could
who-
put him as a sub.
Well, who's he going to come in and play in front of?
Well, does he?
Oh, so
play
he's
over-
going to Heaney? No.
What about Adams?
Maybe.
Well, Adams is not in the team at the moment.
He is. He played. He had
He's
1
in.
goal, 1 had 13.
He's
and,
actually gone pretty well. Play
and
half forward.
Parker had 2 goals, kicked 13. So
Campbell. He's a
Campbell,
good player. He's got a beautiful
Adams,
kick, Campbell.
Jordan. I don't know if he's playing too much of a
Tagger.
role to. Yeah.
Need
He'll
him.
keep playing. He role player. He's not playing in front of Rowbottom. He's not playing in front of Goulden, Heaney, Warner in
The
that
only
midfield.
probably 2 then are those ones that we
It's
just.
probably out of him and Adams. I would have thought. Maybe you could rotate those 2 1 week on, 1 week off.
2 Bulls is going it. But like Luke Parker, there's something about. Like, I'm biased because I know him, and he's just a fucking good man.
Would you put a ball between them and say,
Oh God,
10,
one would
10
come
contests, 10
out.
contests, whoever
Genuinely,
wins
one
more
would come
plays?
out dead. I
Jack
think.
Cale used to
Like,
do that with big men.
That would be the
He used to
scariest
do that.
thing to watch. That.
Whoever takes more marks is in. And there'd be blood on the track on a Thursday.
God.
Love it.
I think that he's going to play a big role coming into
Yep.
September. We do know this as well. Obviously, there's always the shit stories heading into finals. Who knows what's going to happen? Like, someone could get injured and he comes in and plays. Like, it's survival of the fittest, really. So there's going to be something that happens in all the teams, and players get in, opportunities come. Who knows what happens? But I feel like he's primed.
He's also he's big on the yap, Luke Parker.
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
One,
Yeah.
He doesn't miss a bit of the Mackies about him.
Yeah.
He's scary.
I agree with that.
He's a scary
G'day,
man.
Mac.
North, just, that's a part of the process. Couple good ones, couple shit ones.
Yeah.
Good to see Logan McDonald have a good game. I know
four.
he was playing on our boy Chom and Corey.
How did Chom go? I didn't catch a lot of it. I was at a 3-year-old birthday.
A lot of footy getting in inside 50. He was pretty
Chom's
busy
hands
all day.
clean.
He was busy all day.
I'll go and
That's
watch
fair.
Chom's game back so I can critique him tonight.
Yeah,
200
do.
plus.
I don't know about Chom, what he did. I'm sure he played well.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
I fucking
Well,
love
we might,
Chom.
hey, we might cut that up.
Yeah.
I don't know about Chom.
Yeah.
Full
That's
stop.
all I heard.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, I did watch this game. Western Bulldogs defeated Carlton. As you said before, I'm so confused by the doggies. 1 week they're good, 1 week they're bad.
Yeah.
They played well. Jamara looked good. Cripper's 200th. A lot of
He was
things
a
going
beast.
into this game.
How good was Cripper? He tried to do everything to get him over the line.
He's so strong.
He's a star.
Did I ever tell you what he used to do at training? And you'd love it. You two
Love
both
these
love
stories.
this. So you know how there's the throwing nets
Yeah.
up on
Craft net.
the craft net. So all he'd do after training, I don't know if he still does this now, he'd throw the ball at that net or get someone from behind to throw the ball at the net, which is like up about 5 meters. So very, very
Like
quick.
a
It's
run
coming
tap.
down quick.
Yeah.
And he'd have 2 blokes, me and someone normally, hanging off his shoulders. So getting his, like, imagining it's someone like
he's getting
tackling
tagged.
him,
Yeah.
tagging. He had 2 guys like sort of hanging off him and like protected, like catching the ball. And you can see it when he plays. Like,
He bursts through, gets a hands
That's
high.
craft.
Yeah.
Not doing 10 balls off the net and
Yeah.
then, having a few selfies and go and get a massage. Like I'm hearing too many
think
19-year-olds do.
I don't
Brett,
think-
that's craft.
I don't think anyone takes selfies and calls it craft.
Mate, it's like a bit of craft, boys. Yeah, I'll do a couple of little checkies here.
Yeah.
10 little in the hands. And
Don't they love the social media team from the pocket? The boys these days.
And let's go get a tattoo now.
Yeah.
yeah, that is
But
fair.
that is proper.
And buy some
craft.
shit clothes.
Yeah, let's go buy some shit
Okay,
clothes.
settle down.
Do some
Settle
Instagram
down.
and get a tat.
What do we think of the game?
I like Brett when he fires up.
Jamara played very well. Kicked
He was good.
4.
Yep.
Was held by Wiedering early, but then he sort of started to... It was a bit like Jeremy Cameron's game, actually. He was kicking him more sort of getting off him, not trying to like body up. Like, you're not going to try and body up...
Oh, why would you? You got to play to your
Jake Wiedering,
strengths.
probably the strongest bloke in the AFL.
Got to
Got
play
him
to
all
your
off the
strengths.
ground, didn't he?
There was a couple of set shots. One, he took a very good one-handed mark.
Goes one-handed a bit.
Yeah.
Jamar. Maybe
Riley
get
West.
the 2.
Little small forward, kick 4.
Underrated player.
Yeah,
Still
it's
underrated.
Yes, smart, clever little player. Plays like almost a small centre forward. Like links up really well for him. I like him as a player.
He'd
Smart.
be a gun country
Kerno
footballer.
could not kick a snaggy. Was he? How was his selfishness? There's a question mark over that in terms of his ability to pass them off, maybe.
It's a hard one with, like, obviously winning the Coleman.
He's probably the best
Not that
kick in
not
the
that he's
team.
thinking about that, but there's other weeks where he passes them off when he's 40 metres out and gives it to someone 10 metres away, and you think, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
So I think he's probably just in two minds.
Yeah.
Are we burying the lead here a bit? Is there an issue with the Blues? Because all the supporters I know are already booking tickets and blowing trumpets, ba-da every time. That's two crucial losses in a row. Outside of Cripps and Walsh, is there a weakness in the midfield, Brett?
No, well, that actually I did see the them putting something up. I think it was on some show they were talking about the fact that there is a massive reliance on Cripps and Walsh, and then you look at the next few, it's like Chera,
Akers.
you only had 19. Chera tackles a lot, but like again, you can't just tackle and not do anything with the footy. Hollins is playing pretty well. From all reports, we spoke to Sam Doherty last week. He reckons that Elijah Hollins, is playing somewhat of a role similar to what Kane Lambert would have played for Dusty.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he's just picking up Cripper's man, letting him just do his thing. Really, really selfless role. So obviously a very important one. Kennedy only had 8. I know he's going sort of forward and mid as well. But
George Hewitt went really well in the VFL yesterday, so he's a chance to come back in.
He's out of the team.
I know. I love him.
Yeah.
You probably can't play Hewitt and Elijah Hollins. Maybe that's the two.
No, because Hewitt doesn't play half forward. That's where he's probably Chera, because he's come back from injury. He's taken his minutes and spot. But if Matty Kennedy doesn't continue to fire, which he's had a quiet one on the weekend, well, maybe there's an opportunity. Zachy Williams did his hammy, so he's going to be out for a little bit.
That hurts. He's been really good
Sincotto,
for him.
I think, is the other one who's like playing that role, who's just sort of a bit of a lockdown. Mate, look, they got some issues, but they're sitting second, so I think they'll be okay.
Geez, Gincotto kept Bond to 21 goals won. That's probably his most average game for the year.
He's
still
good player,
played
that
incredibly
kid.
well, but
I can't picture Carlton winning the flag. I just can't.
They need a good day where everyone sort of plays well, which
But
can happen.
Does that win flags? Well, I guess it can.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Is it maybe, I don't know, is there baggage because I supported him as a kid and now I don't so much. My family hates it. But I just look and I see the stars and I see the role players, but I just can't picture them on the dais. Whereas, like Hawthorn in 3 years, I can.
Yeah.
You know, I can see Weddle as a premiership player. I can see the Wizard as a premiership player. I can see Sicily holding
I
the
think
cup.
that's just
I can't see it with
That's a bit
Carlton.
of trauma. It's a bit of
Is
trauma.
it trauma?
It's a thing that I think Carlton supporters and people that have loved that
I
club
can see
for a-
Cripps. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I think it's just because it hasn't happened yet. We can't see. Like I don't think many Richmond supporters could have seen Trent Cotchin holding up a cup. You know what I mean? Before
Probably,
they did it.
maybe not in 2014. Yeah, good
So I
point.
think,
Good
like,
point. Mature point.
I think
Dylan.
that they are
Just saying.
they are very
That's
much
your best.
there.
How long have we been doing these? That's his best point that I've ever heard come from your mouth.
Thank
Well
you
done,
very
mate.
much. I appreciate
Good
that.
one.
I can see them. I just don't think they're in great form at the moment. But as we said, last 5 rounds, I am a firm believer that this is when you need to get to work in the last. Like you need to be starting to hit that momentum and form heading into finals.
Yeah, if you're not going well hitting August, it's too late. I don't think you can sort of slap into form in the finals.
This is when my analysis. I really appreciate that feedback. This is when my analysis from here on out, you'll think, how is this man not an oracle? Which
Yeah.
I am.
Adelaide Crows and Kilda.
Hugh Bond.
Big Bondy made his debut,
So
mate.
Bondy's one of Brett's
One of
boys.
Brett's,
that he,
yep.
I can't remember. I think he was saying he was going to win the Brownlow this year or something earlier in the year, and he's finally made his debut. But he had a good game.
He did. He made his debut, and he's in there for a new lockdown role. He's just been doing his job week to week. You won't see him at the top of the stat sheet, but what he's doing for his teammates is awesome. But great reward for a great kid. So we're pumped for him. But they had a good win too. So interesting that your boy Riley
Thilthorpe.
Thilthorpe.
I've actually got it now. Thilthorpe.
Yeah, easy.
Filthy.
He was the sub. Come on, kick 2.
Did he
beast.
come on and tag?
No, he didn't. No, didn't have to. But then missed out on the team song because he was still doing his extras. He had to do the extra running.
My
Please.
God.
The S&C took over.
Jeez,
mate.
I know it's
I'm
getting a lot of airtime though, but how good does he look?
I'm going to
He's beast.
DM him and ask, I want to know what supplements he's on. Like
Yeah.
aminos. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's been doing the power lifts because he's added thickness,
Yeah,
Darce,
he's looking
and the
really
beard. I want to know
He's a
what
beast.
sort of natural concoction Filthy is on.
How
He's
good's
200
that?
plus. We might get him on.
Well, how
actually.
good's that for North Melbourne next year, getting him into your team, which is going to be big for them?
Phil.
Yeah.
Why was he coming to North Melbourne?
I remember I
He
just
would
said
be
it to
good
Mick
for
and
North Melbourne.
He would be incredible for North Melbourne. I don't think he
St
is.
Kilda though, 39 points. That's
Couple of things from this game that I saw. 3 of those we've already touched on, but
Mini?
something
Watch
on
your Mini?
no, I didn't watch Mini. Something on social media that was doing the rounds as well, which is just shit house, and a lot of things happen. But I just thought this one was really too far. Was Zach Jones copying an email from a fan? Did you see this?
no.
Zach Jones
Extraordinary.
copped an email.
Wasn't Nick Butler
From
was
a
it?
fan.
Sent
Oh,
him
I
in.
don't do that. I respect the boys in the arena.
Yeah,
Brett.
it was mate.
We've
It
got a
was
lot of
pretty
blokes in
bad.
this room.
No, that's different. You're not in the arena anymore.
It was pretty bad. It was just
Did he post it?
he reshared it, yeah, and tagged. I'm just getting it up now.
Is that a bit off?
An
How
email.
do they get his
Fucking oath.
email address?
I don't know how he's got it. They probably
You
had
can
like
delete
a,
emails though.
No, but he's probably had like a Saints email and they've just picked the name. Like if you know the handle, you can sort of.
How bad was the email? Can you
let me
read it?
Get it up. I'm just yeah. It's been shared a couple times on socials. The email said from a bloke, won't name his name. It said, "Can you please fucking retire? You are so shit. You think you're fucking Chris Judd and you cost us every week. I know. I also know thorough, a good source that Ross thinks you're fucking shit and has a little choice."
Has little choice.
I think this person is
Yeah.
a bit drunk. Just full stop. Fuck off. You are shit. Sent from my iPhone.
Okay, well that's
Yeah.
a bit wrong. Well done for sharing
Yeah.
that.
So
Zach,
Sent from my iPhone. That just reminds me of Baby
you
Reindeer.
tell that
yeah.
person is
man in
not
the
well.
arena. Zach's the man in the arena, and that
Exactly
bloke
right.
isn't.
Moving on, Melbourne Essendon. D's defeated.
Huge.
Yeah.
Without Maxi gone.
But I do like Van Rooyen as a backup ruck. He is a perfect backup ruck
Yeah.
forward. He's not going to kick you 60 as a forward, but
Yeah.
he'll compete his
But you know
bum
how we were
off.
saying before about how you need to be like nearly 200 to be a key forward? 193, 194, but competes.
Yeah, well, he's Marich like in competitiveness.
Yeah.
Which at that size you have to be.
Yeah, yeah.
All you need is someone who competes in those roles, I reckon, especially when you're like a... We spoke about Kieran Briggs last week. You weren't on the show, but like for talent and pound for pound talent, from what he's getting out of his body is fucking incredible. Like he just competes.
Van Rooyen.
No, Kieran Briggs.
Oh, Kieran
just
Briggs.
saying in
Yeah,
that size.
Spoke
I
about
think
him last
Toby
week.
Nankervis is a bit the same and well respected, especially
Widowmaker.
at pardon.
The Widowmaker. Did you ever actually call him the Widowmaker? Or was
Oh,
that
I
a media
actually
thing?
didn't play
kills-
with- I didn't play with
He
him.
kills husbands.
What the fuck?
That was his nickname.
Zach Merritt wants to play for another 10 years. I saw that article. That was fascinating.
He's setting
So
himself up to do that.
Yeah, so he's 20... He'd be about 27.
Yeah.
It's a big career.
You can
I
do
reckon
it
he could
now, I
No,
reckon.
I reckon he
Yeah.
can do it
With
too.
the recovery and everything.
As long as you continue to keep your speed and whatever else, he'll be one of those players that you would think that. I thought that too, but then get one calf, mate, it turns into 30.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure we'll be able to tackle in 10 years.
No,
So it'll
he
be
might
like
be
AFL
right.
9s by then. So
He
it'll
might
be
be
like
the
us out at
700s.
Glen Iris on a Tuesday,
It could be the
Brett.
700s. Gold Coast defeated Port Adelaide, which was a good win for them. Again, at home, they're nearly unbeatable.
We're a Port at though, seriously.
Yeah, I
like,
don't
what
know.
are they doing?
I'm not sure.
I know
were-
that the Suns are better at home, but if you can't wipe the Dogs
Well, when
at
are
home.
they've got to make a decision. Like I'm sure they probably have on the coaching staff. It's probably fair to say. Well, Ken probably won't be there next year. Is that fair to say? Like he's
I don't. You're
If
saying
they
that.
don't make the finals, he won't be. I think he'll try to coach next year if they
You
make the
reckon?
8. But
Okay.
they're a chance to miss now. I did this game. They butchered the footy, Brett. Their attitude was okay. They had a go. They didn't wave the flag, but my God, they were trying to like attack the corridor,
Yeah.
which is okay if you can hit a target. But they were handballing defeat and kicking these moon balls, whereas the Gold Coast were just clean. And Dimmer Hardwick picked a really good side.
Yep.
Tough, fast young blokes.
Well-
Swallow out, left Sexton out, and brought in a guy like Roses and this kid Davies. Davies has knocked one over in the first
Yeah,
5
so he's
minutes.
going to miss the next 4.
Yeah, but I don't think Dimmer cares.
He just
Big
wanted
win.
a statement.
They were tough.
One out of this game, Sam Collins, who gets spoken about a bit. He did a good job on
Charlie Dixon.
Charlie Dixon. Sorry, forgot his name. It got me thinking about those guys in your team and go around maybe just thinking of one that just are the ultimate. They don't get the recognition they probably deserve, but internally are so highly regarded. It makes me think straight away Alex Albani, former Fremantle Carlton player. Like this guy, just tough as nails, would play on absolutely anyone. And then obviously Liam Jones as well, who's now in the Bulldogs. But just one of those guys that just you just go, you wouldn't want to ever play on them.
I don't think I could get a kick on him.
Who?
You know,
Sam
Collins.
Yeah, I
you know
know.
what? Sometimes, like, when you're a reasonable local footballer and you played a little bit at the VFL, you dream. And I used to sit there at games 10 years ago, think, how would I go? Right? And I remember watching Scarlett one day. And I'm like, I don't think I could get a kick on him. You look at some ruckman and go, I'll go okay, because you played him in the VFL. But the best of the best, especially fullbacks, I was like, no, I couldn't work out a way. I'm like, he's faster. He'll push me under the ball. Yeah. And I look at Collins, I'm like, how do you get a kick on this man? And he's mad too. He's tougher.
He looks, it's like, you see Jack Buckley when he gets a goal kicked on him, he fucking goes fuming. Like, he a couple weeks ago when Charlie Kerner kicked one on him.
And Rancy's teaching him now, so he's got all that.
He monstered young Lord too. Can I just say, the weirdest thing I've ever seen in footy happen in this game, it might not have made the KO Mini or the bite, so you might not have seen it. But Port Adelaide had the worst friendly fire, right? They were knocking each other out, so they were losing players and causing defenders had clung into each other, and the Gold Coast forward would just stay down and get an easy front square. The weirdest injury I've ever seen to Todd Marshall, right? They've flown up for the ball. Marshall's flown and landed with his legs straight in the air, right? Charlie Dixon has come over the top and his guts have hit his foot and effectively given him like an epic hip cramp relief. When you're like, you've got a cramp and someone has to pull your toe? Yeah. Charlie Dixon has done that with his whole body and ripped his hamstring in half. So he got
Tom Marshall's got a hip that he might be out with too. Is that who you're saying is injured?
Yeah. Well, look, a hammy hip. So it's happened because Dixon has come and virtually done. It looked like a yoga stretch on steroids. Like he's ripped his leg off.
This is the insight you get on this show. They're not talking about this.
Get the replay.
We'll get that up.
I've never seen anything like it.
Get that in the KO Mini.
Yeah.
Richmond Giants, bit of a boring game, but good to see Toby back, kick 4.
Yep. I was there.
Jesse Hogan.
He's flying Jesse Hogan. His hands are so good.
They're so good. He's jumping at the footy well too. He's just got his confidence back in his body.
Yeah. No, there wasn't a heap to take out of the game.
No.
The Tigers were actually okay.
I was going to say 86 to 108. It's not massive.
They didn't fly the flag or wave the white flag. They continued to try and compete, which is good. Young Steely Green kicked 3. Kicked his first goal of his career yesterday. Yeah, Tom Green had 37 yesterday, 15 kicks at 14%. So
surge mentality.
It wasn't a
That's a surge. That's me at Tura this week, but 3 disposals.
Well, we spoke about Witters. Bit of any more laid back, he'd be asleep. But he had 35, a few kick-outs. But
how did you see Hopper and Tranto going up against the old bomb?
Yeah,
obviously both had
did well,
Hopper 28.
Yeah, Timmy got concussed, actually. A big tackle from Toby Bedford.
Does that get
well, unfortunately, with a tackle and you knock someone out, and there was nothing, just great tackle, executed it well, pins the arms, but as he goes down, he hits his head. As you said, I think tackling is going to be out of our game because it's so hard.
Oh, no, I'm with you. He probably has to go. Do you reckon now, because of the awareness of concussion, do you reckon 10 years ago, if that had happened to you, you wouldn't have even been allowed to lay down? You just would have got up.
Get up, you're not hurt.
Now I think the players think about it as well. I just reckon back in the day, you would have run around half concussed a lot.
Oh, you would have.
Yeah, but there is no way you could call a trainer for being tackled.
I think we've got to get to the point, though, too. Every time you hit your head on the ground doesn't mean you can cuss.
No, you don't. It's true.
You can hit your head on the ground and just get straight back up. I've only been concussed maybe once or twice in my career, and you hit your head 40 times a game.
I know.
So I think slow motion, head hitting the ground never looks good, ever. But it doesn't mean you can cuss straight away. I think we're actually...
I fear players are worrying about it too much.
I think we're actually we're nearly overdoing it so much that it's taking the credit away from guys like Paddy McCartan that are actually struggling with it. Where every head knock is
sensitive to light and all that. Yeah. That's proper. That's when you're really struggling with it. Can't sleep.
Last game of the round was West Coast Brisbane. Pretty boring game. I thought West Coast were actually going to roll up and win. Well, I said it. I tipped them to do it because often with the caretaker coach coming on and
dead cat bounce
getting it, but Brisbane just won.
Pardon?
Just won.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jared Schofield. Good coach, they reckon. Scoey. Coached a lot of flags at Subiaco.
Yeah. Dean Cox has got that in the bag. There's no way
what
you can't.
Bucks? Bucks wants it. Bucks is throwing the hand up.
He wants Tassie, I reckon.
Yeah, that'd be good too. Because you get a couple of years working in the office, just getting paid huge coin to plan. And he's very good businessman, Bucks, and he's good at all the white-collar stuff too.
I think Nathan Buckley would be looking at West Coast, look at the way in the West, in a fishbowl they treated Adam Simpson. Yeah. I think any coach would be like, fuck that. That would be like a nightmare.
Yeah. So you'd rather go back to a favoured son in Dean Cox.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? At least he's going to have the support.
That's the support of the crowd.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, from all reports, he's very good at what he does. Big Coxie.
And also, you think about it from West Coast point of view. If they turn away a favourite son and go with someone like Buckley or something else,
they're already off the wrong foot.
They're already off on the wrong foot. Yeah. They're gonna go with Cox. They have to. Obviously, connection to Don Pike and being under John Longmire, who I reckon is one of the best coaches of all time.
Could Don Pike do it? I reckon Don Pike was...
Nah, I think he's out. I think he's now just the CEO, and that's what he does. Yeah.
It's a shame because he probably gave it away before he tipped over the edge as a coach.
Yeah.
He was a great coach.
Yeah. Interesting. Until that camp, they were going okay, weren't they?
They were.
Interesting. Adam Simpson on the way out. Just the couple of clips that he gave.
Oh,
you don't often see a coach do that.
What did he do?
He clipped the journo.
He clipped the journal.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
anything? Was it writing on the wall? He's like, yeah, probably your 300th article on how bad we've been. It's like, you blokes need to seriously sharpen up. There's families and people. These are actually human beings, you know?
I've seen on Will Schofield back chat, I saw a clip the other day they were talking about, and they had Jeremy McGovern on, and, he was speaking quite emotionally and candid about it and had to be careful with what he was sort of saying. But he's like, we spoke about it with Port Adelaide. We made the joke the other week, and it's probably not a really joking matter. But in SA and WA, it seems almost cult-like of how full on it is, and it is crazy because you'd have nothing else to talk about in those towns beside the two teams, and would get all consuming, and everyone's just thinking about it, and it'd get a lot.
Yeah, I fear for if. And God forbid it happens that Harley doesn't start performing for a few weeks. You get the grace in your first year, but your second year they'll be expecting a Brownlow from him.
Yeah.
And if he starts to go down, it's hard when you're a young player. Trust me, I know what it's like at a place when you're the one hype draft pick and the expectations are up here and the weight of the world starts to come on your shoulders. I just hope that they're more competitive and he doesn't have that.
Well, that's why they need Big Coxie there. He'll bring over
they're also
Chad
getting
Warner, 15 million.
Yeah.
So there you go.
He's taken 75% of the cat.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
It's a nice kangaroo, isn't it?
When you think about it.
Yeah.
Hey, boys, thanks so much for the pod today. Butsy, we love having you in, despite what
feedback
said.
Was it only one you got, or was that just the best?
Yeah, I think it was only one. Yeah,
I didn't want to actually bring it up, but because I get thrown on the bus so much, I thought, fuck
Fair
it.
enough.
We like
got to take the good and the bad.
Good to have you back, mate.
Yeah, good to be back.
Good to get Mickey Barlow back next week.
Where's
Can't
Mick?
wait for Saturday.
Where's Mick?
Mick's had a...
They played Saturday, so they work Monday mornings.
Fair enough.
You said Saturday again and my heart dropped again.
Yeah. I can't wait to come and get the full feedback and rundown. I'm getting it back. Because these boys came up after I played a game.
Yeah.
And we did a sporty
And you
after.
know how hard it is.
I'd be disappointed without 6 and 20.
Is Brett coming to Buller with us? If we go?
I haven't asked him yet.
Footy Friends Buller trip.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be able to get time away from
I
his
think he
family.
might be.
When are you going?
Next week.
Next week.
We're pushing for Thursday,
You like
Friday.
skiing, don't you?
I love skiing.
Come up.
You're paying for the kids to come as well?
All expenses for all of us, but
all of us.
not the kids.
Maybe we can get 1 or 2 kids.
Leave one at home. Leave one at home.
Actually, I would be leaving the youngest at home.
It's bucketing down up there,
Yeah,
Brett.
I think Brett's
We'll
in.
chat about this.
Yeah.
We'll chat about it off air because we are going
Big
up to
Buller
Buller.
trip.
We're doing a bit of a
We're
live
friends
show
at
up
Buller.
there and
love Buller.
bit of trivia and that too.
I think he's in.
We get looked
I think he's in.
after.
We do.
We go
Rilla,
to
the Moosehead.
Moosehead.
We
go
love the
to
Moosehead.
What's the other one? With the
Pension
Anton
Grimace.
Pension Grimace. that's it.
Pension.
Well, you're saying Anton Grabak.
Yeah, we're Anton
Good Metro coach, Anton.
He dropped me from the Vic 16s. I've only just got over it.
Mate, you know what? He'd be an incredible pod to get on. The amount of players he's seen.
Yeah,
come and
Anton.
go.
I'm still in touch with him.
He's a great
out,
man.
out at Maribyrnong.
Brett, he dropped me from the Vic 16s.
We've
I
got to
thought
get
I was
going.
in.
We've got to get.
He asked me to train on for the rest of the session, and I couldn't see the ball because I was crying, and I got hit in the lope at centre half forward. I had to be centre half forward in the drill with a bib on after I'd been cut from the Vic 16s, and a ball hit me in the bonce because I was crying, Brett. And I don't think I'm. Let's get Anton on.
Yeah. He's a tall man. He could probably get 200.
You can't do that to
he
a
had the
kid.
dislocated finger. Anton had the dislocated finger from foot playing because he played Fitzroy.
Essendon.
Anyway,
Good on you, Anton. Hope you're well.
Footy and Friends, thanks so much. The mailbag next week, we'll get going. A lot about Mick in there, so we'll wait till he's back on the show. But that is mailbag at Dyl Friends to feature on the show. Grand final tickets are now available for the Clubby Sports Breakfast. Make sure you head to the link in the show notes. Want to see you there. Get a table with your mates. We're going to be performing on the show, and we'll have it all there. So thank you so much, ILXX, and get down to Tura. Go the Magpies. Let's go.